Breath of the Wild is a massive game with 21 unique armor sets that all do different things, whether that's increased defense, better stamina and speed, or resistance to certain climates. With all these options, it can be hard to know what armor should be a priority and what you should go for first. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking every single armor set from worst to best based on how easy they are to get and its usefulness compared to other sets. One last note before I start is that I will not be including any amiibo sets in this list because I do not consider them to be a part of the main game. Starting this list off at number 21 is the Well-Worn set. It is found at the start of the game in the Shrine of Resurrection, and you will find two chests right here containing the Well-Worn trousers and the old shirt. This set only has two pieces instead of three like most, and both pieces only give one defense point, and there is also no set bonus. This set is pretty much useless other than the fact that it can be a nice 2 defense for the Great Plateau, although you can easily replace it with the Warm Doublet, which also gives cold resistance, and the Hylian trousers. At number 20 on the list, I have the Radiant set. This set, unlike the Well-Worn set, does have a full 3 pieces with 3 defense points each, giving 9 total, although this set is still pretty much useless as all it does is glow in the dark when it is nighttime, which does not really give any sort of benefits in any areas of the game, as if it is dark you could just use something like a torch. Moving on to number 19, I have the Desert Bow set. This set can also be purchased from the secret shop in the Gerudo area where you purchase the Radiant set, and it will give heat resistance as well as 9 defense. This set does not give you speed in the sand. You still have to use the sand boots for that, and the reason I have this set so low is because you can do everything that you can with this set with the Desert Bow set, although the Desert Bow set does not give you access into Gerudo Town, so it's purely cosmetic and there is no real reason to use it. At number 18, I have the Dark Link set. This set can be bought from Kilton here, and it will give you faster speed during the night. The reason I have this set so low is because it will take you a long time to get this set, as you have to farm a lot of monsters, and by the time you do, you'll probably have a lot of shrines available to warp to, as well as a horse or a motorcycle. So at this point, fast travel by foot will not be as necessary. I also don't like this set because it can't be upgraded, and you will usually be able to get Tingle's set first because you can just get it from chests in Central Hyrule, and it will give you the exact same buffs. And then at 17, we have Tingle's outfit. Again, it is basically the exact same as the Dark Link outfit. It will give you faster speed on foot during the night, and I have it 1 spot higher because it's much easier to obtain. You will be able to get it from 3 different ruins here in the central region. The one downside is it does have less defense than the Dark set, being 6 instead of 9, but both of these amounts are still very low, which is why I don't see it as that big of a deal. At number 16, we have the Of the Wild set. This set will take you quite a while to get because you have to complete all 120 shrines, where you'll then be able to visit the Forbidden Temple and claim the set. I don't have this set very high because it's mainly here for looks, as it does not give any set bonus, and by the time you get it, you will probably have most of the better sets in the game, so using it is basically just for looks. At number 15 is the Salvager set. This set is part of the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 side quest, and it is basically just another version of the Zora set. The reason I don't like this armor very much is because there isn't much of a point in having it, as the Zora set is much better, giving you the ability to swim up waterfalls, while this set just gives you a bit less stamina usage when dashing in water. Another reason I don't like this armor as much is because you probably won't get it till after you already have the Zora armor, or at least the chest plate, which is really all you need. So there's not really a point in having it, and it's mainly just for looks if you want it. Moving on, we have the Royal Guard armor. This is one of the harder armor sets to get in the game, as to get it, you will have to venture all throughout Hyrule Castle to find the 3 chests with each piece in it. When all equipped, the set will give you charge attack, stamina up, and 12 defense total. Because it's a DLC set, it cannot be upgraded, and I don't think this is that good of a set bonus. Based on those 2 things and just how hard the set is to get, I don't have it very high on this list. At number 13 is the Soldier's Armor. This is the first armor on the list that I would consider to be worth going for, and you can buy it in a shop here in Hatno Village. The reason I like this armor is because it can be really good for early game, as it's easy to get, it's easy to upgrade, and it can give good defense for early in the game. Very similar to the Soldier's Gear is the Hylian armor. This set can be bought here in Kakariko Village, and it will probably be the first armor set you get after leaving the plateau. It does not have a set bonus and not the best defense, although it can be very useful for early game until you get the Soldier's Armor or maybe the Stealth Armor. And then at number 11 is the Stealth Armor. Again, this can be bought here in Kakariko Village in the same store as the Hylian set, and it can be very nice for if you're going for a certain resource, maybe for upgrading armor or for a quest. It can really help to catch some of those bugs or beetles. It doesn't give the most defense, but this armor set is more for a specific use and not just a day-to-day armor. Starting off the top 10 list is the Rubber Armor. This armor is great after you upgrade each piece twice, as it will then give you full resistance to all lightning and shocks. It can be very handy when you're in regions such as the Wetlands or Faron. To get this armor, you will have to go and find 2 different shrine chests as well as completing a quest, so it can take a bit of time, but the benefits are definitely worth it. At number 9 on the list, I have the Phantom Ganon set. You can find it here in the Faron regions in 3 different chests. I might have this set a lot higher than other people, but I think it can be very good in the early game if you go to Faron first, as not only does it give you some stealth up, but it will also give you a much higher damage when using bone weapons. And those weapons are very common in early game, and they'll probably be something you pick up a lot. At number 8 is the Flame Breaker armor. This armor is very important for the progression of the story, as you will need it to go safely into the Eldin region without either burning up or having to take a fire resistance potion every 8 minutes or so. However, this set has many downsides, such as it being very expensive, and it is only useful in this one specific area, and after you finish the Divine Beast here, you won't really ever go here again, unless you are doing the 1 or 2 shrines or getting a few Koroks. At number 7 is the Zora armor. This armor is very nice to have, as you'll be able to swim much faster and go up waterfalls. The swim speed in this game sucks without it, so you'll basically want to not avoid water until you have it. Although you can get this set very early, which is a very nice bonus, as you just have to go to the Lanayru region and just start the Baruta questline. You do not have to progress through it. At number 6 is the Barbarian armor. This armor can be very powerful once it's upgraded, as it will give a good amount of defense and a huge attack up bonus. Although the big downside is how long it will take to get, as you will have to go and complete all 3 labyrinths in 3 different corners of the map. If you're not going to look up a video or just glide on top of the maze, it will take you quite a while to figure it out, and it might not be worth it to some people. Starting off the top 5 is the Gerudo armor. This armor is necessary for the progression of the game if you want to do the Divine Beasts, as it is the only armor that will allow you entry into Gerudo Town. It's also not that hard to get, as you can buy it off someone at Karakara Bazaar, and it will also grant heat resistance, which can be very nice for being in the desert. It does not have the most defense, but that is not that big of a downside, as it is not used for combat. At number 4 on the list is the Phantom armor set. This is probably the best early game armor set there is, as you can get it just after leaving the Great Plateau, as long as you can avoid some guardians at Central Hyrule. And the reason it is so good early on is because it gives a much higher defense than the other early game armors, as well as a giant attack bonus. The downside is that it cannot be upgraded, which makes it less good for later on in the game, but until you replace it with a better set, it is very useful. Starting off the top 3 is the climbing set. This set is very nice to have when exploring, as you will be able to scale up mountains much faster than without it, and you will be able to get up mountains that you might not be able to with your stamina before. The only downside is that it can take a while to get if you don't know what shrines to look in already, because you'll just have to go through all of them and hope to find them by chance. And by the time you do get it, you'll probably have Revali's Gale unlocked, meaning it's not useful at all for any of the smaller mountains. At number 2 is the Ancient Armor. This armor is extremely powerful against Guardians because it will give a lot of defense and attack up against them, and it can be purchased from Robbie at the Akala Ancient Tech Lab, as long as you have the necessary rupees and resources, and have completed the Blue Flame side quest. This is a very good endgame armor, as you'll probably be fighting a lot of Guardians as well as Ganon, and it will make it a lot easier. Finally, at number 1, I think the Snow Quill armor has to be the best armor in the game. The reason why is because the cold is one of the most dominant areas of the game that you will need protection for, and the Snow Quill set is the only armor that can fully protect you against any level of cold. This armor isn't too difficult to get, as you can find it at Rito Village for a decent price, and I think Rito Village is a place that most people will visit early on. This set is just so helpful for exploring the game, as you'll be doing that a lot more than actual combat, which it isn't as good for, which is why I personally rate it over the Ancient Armor. And that is every armor set in Breath of the Wild ranked from worst to best. Please let me know what you agree or disagree with, as I would love to hear other people's opinions, and thank you so much for watching if you made it to the end of the video. Please leave a like or subscribe if you enjoyed, as it really goes a long way, and goodbye.